Revolutionary greetings, comrades. The Phala debate is dominating the political discourse, not only in South Africa but internationally, but more so in Zimbabwe. We've always said that Zimbabweans follow closely the political events in South Africa. While it has indeed dominated the political discourse internationally, we are of the view that it is an internal matter that the African National Congress and the people of South Africa should deal with. Ours is to draw lessons on the processes that have been followed. Remember that the African National Congress is the oldest liberation movement in the continent. And most of our people, as we explained in previous videos, did participate in the struggle against apartheid by joining the African National Congress, the likes of Thomas Ngobi, the likes of Joseph Mpofu, who spent 5 years in Robben Island, the likes of the late Makhathini Kuduza, and many others. And others also were part of Umkhonto Wesizwe. And Umkhonto Wesizwe worked with Zipra, particularly in the Wangens Polilo Beklis. So there's this much interest in what is happening inside the African National Congress, to an extent that, of course, other comrades will want to take a factional approach, even though they are not members of the ANC. So it's important, though, that we draw lessons. But for us, as communists, the most important lesson that we are drawing from the Phala debate is organizational discipline. As we record this video, again, the discussion on how parliamentarians voted following the Section 89, which was probing whether President Cyril Ramaphosa is a case to answer, or in other words, Parliament to start impeachment proceedings against the president. And the Parliament of South Africa voted against that. But we just want to look briefly into organizational discipline, because it is important that as communists we discuss organizational discipline, because we might either ourselves be faced with this challenge of organizational discipline, or in the near future the issue of organizational discipline is going to visit us. So it's important that as we draw lessons, but we look into organizational discipline. I've just downloaded a brief document. It's titled Chinese Law and the Government, Volume 8, Issue 2 to 5. Was written in 1975. But the chapter that I'm interested in is chapter 8, which talks briefly, and I'm reading the abstract briefly, about organizational discipline. It says, I quote, "The party constitution stipulates that the whole party must observe unified discipline. The individual is subordinate to the organization. The minority is subordinate to the majority. The lower level is subordinate to the higher level, and the entire party is subordinate to the Central Committee. Party discipline is a necessary condition to guarantee that the party line is implemented, that the party's unit is strengthened, that the party organization is purified, that the proletarian dictatorship is consolidated, and that the revolutionary victory is achieved. Every Communist Party member should consciously obey and maintain party discipline," close quote. In other words, if the Central Committee, also as part of a democratic centralism, when we have debates inside the party, for instance, the debate around the 2023 elections on what should be the position of the Zimbabwe Communist Party, some comrades inside the Zimbabwe Communist Party are saying we need to work with all manner of class formations as communists in Zimbabwe to defeat ZANU-PF in an election. Comrades who are raising this argument are saying we are better placed to work with the Triple C led by Nelson Chamisa. There are other comrades inside the party who are opposed to working with the Triple C, who are raising this question, who are saying, let us lead as the Zimbabwe Communist Party in the elections, lead progressive formations or establish a mass broad movement which will use as an electoral vehicle. It's a debate that is happening in the party. So there will come a time where we take a decision, where the central committee of the party will have to take a decision. So a decision that the central committee will take might not be favorable to some comrades, given their entrenched position on the matter. Now, let us assume that the party takes a decision that the Zimbabwe Communist Party must contest the elections in 2023 with the other broader formations where it is leading these broader formations in contesting an election. Some comrades, because we allow dual membership, some comrades who want us to contest together with Triple C or under Triple C might not want to toe the party line and say, no, if the Central Committee takes this decision, we're not part of it. That on its own shows lack of organizational discipline. Or to put it differently, the Central Committee might resolve and say, under the circumstances, given the resources, given the time left to an election, the Zimbabwe Communist Party must work with the Triple C and contest elections. Some comrades who are opposed to this view will not agree, even if the decision has been taken by the Central Committee. And that will mean comrades lack what we call organizational discipline. So if a decision is taken by the Central Committee, which is the highest board in between congresses, it means even if I was opposed to the decision when we were having this internal discussion, I must therefore defend that decision with my own life. I should be the one as General Secretary who articulates the position of the Central Committee, even if I, at a personal level, I do not agree with it. That's organizational discipline. So what needs to be done is for me to canvass my political views inside the party, win over comrades, to begin to see from my own perspective. And then they say, no, comrade, we agree with the issues that you are raising. And then the Central Committee votes in terms of my proposal. But again, if it goes against the Central Committee, because it is the highest decision-making board, goes against my own proposal and votes otherwise, I have to support that position. I should not therefore come out in public and say, this decision of the Central Committee, I do not support it. That on its own is indiscipline. So if we reach that stage, the comrade will be left with only one choice, is to resign from the party. If the comrade does not resign from the party, or if, for instance, the decision by the Central Committee says we support Nelson Chamisa and his Triple C, and I, as General Secretary, come out of the Central Committee and say, no, I do not stand with this decision, it means I must resign from the party. If I don't resign, the party must take disciplinary measures against me. This is what we call organizational discipline. So, even if, assuming the Zimbabwe Communist Party then is in parliament post-elections, and the Central Committee resolves on a matter, if I'm a member of parliament sponsored by the Zimbabwe Communist Party, because the parliament is the theater of struggle on its own, it is a theater of struggle. I don't go to parliament as an individual. I go to parliament as a deployee of the party. Therefore, the agenda of parliamentarians is defined by the Central Committee or by the party. So the Central Committee will say, this is our parliamentary agenda for this period. And all party members who are deployed in parliament or even in council chambers would be expected to articulate the position of the Central Committee. I would not have gone to parliament as an individual. If I want to go as an individual, I must contest as an independent, not under a name of the Zimbabwe Communist Party. So it's important to raise this issue as we draw lessons from what is happening inside the ANC. Assuming I do not agree with the decision of the Central Committee, the highest structure, which is above the Central Committee, which I will then have to appeal the decision of the Central Committee, is not outside the party structures, it is Congress, right? So if the Zimbabwe Communist Party Central Committee resolves on the matter on elections, and it resolves in the manner that some comrades feel that they are not happy, the comrades, discipline cadres of the party, will not go outside and contest the decision of the collective. They will have to appeal for the reversal or for the review of that decision by the highest structure, which is Congress. If Congress endorses the decision of the Central Committee, every member of the party must toe the line. But of course, if Congress decide otherwise and say, no, we think the Central Committee made a mistake by adopting this resolution, it has the power, because it is the highest decision-making body of the party, the Congress. So it's important as we follow the debate. If you are a member of a party, you are deployed in government, you are deployed in parliament, you are deployed in council, you are guided by the party. You are not guided by other political parties out there or civil society or what one will say in the interest of the public. No. You are a member of a party, and if you feel that the party, the Zimbabwe Communist Party in this case, is no longer advancing your interest and you are not happy in the manner in which it operates, this is why you resign from the party and look for another political home. So it's important as we draw lessons in what is happening in the ANC, that as we go to elections in 2023, whatever the party decides, whether I support or I do not support, as General Secretary, as a discipline cadre of the party, and every member of the Zimbabwe Communist Party must support that position. If I'm unable to support that position, or if the comrade is unable to support that position, the comrade will simply have to resign from the party. So let me read once again the quote that I read as I conclude. It says, I quote, "The party constitution stipulates that the whole party must observe unified discipline. The individual is subordinate to the organization. The minority is subordinate to the majority. The lower level is subordinate to the higher level. And the entire party is subordinate to the Central Committee." Right? Party discipline is a necessary condition to guarantee that the party line is implemented, that the party's unit is strengthened, that the party organization is purified, that the proletarian dictatorship is consolidated, and that revolutionary victory is achieved. Every Communist Party member should consciously obey and maintain party discipline. Close quote. So if you're a member of the Zimbabwe Communist Party or any communist party for that matter, you are not a celebrant. You are guided by the party. You adopt a party line. You don't say because these issues of public interest, so many people on social media are saying this, so I must then be the opposition, civil society, and others should clap hands for me. Therefore, I should break ranks with the party. It's indiscipline. So every member of the party must be guided by the party. We call this organizational discipline. So please share your views, comrades. I know, like I said, I will not delve into what is happening inside the ANC, but it's important that we draw lessons, and this is the lesson that we draw from what happened. Otherwise, we're still in the World Cup. My team, Senegal, lost. Brazil also lost. We don't know if Argentina will go and win. We don't want this World Cup to go to Europe. I said last time that the last time Europe did not win the World Cup was in 2002. Thereafter, since 2006 in Germany, it has been European teams that have been winning, and we hope that this time they are not going to win the World Cup. It will go elsewhere. Otherwise, thank you, comrades. Please write your comments, subscribe to this YouTube channel, and like this video. Otherwise, Amandla.